Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for January 22, 2024. And in the news this evening, former PNP councillor aspirant freed of assault charge. St. Elizabeth schoolteacher and the former People's National Party aspirant for the Lokovia division, Osheen Gale, was freed of an assault charge on Monday. The charge stemmed from the alleged board beating of his then-pregnant spouse last October. Gale, represented by attorney at law Thomas Levine, appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Santa Cruz. Levine told the news that his client was acquitted after the complainant, Gale's ex-spouse and the mother of his first child, expressed no further interest in the case. The complainant, with whom he was involved in a relationship, indicated through her attorney that she has no further interest in the case as she has reconciled her differences with Mr. Gale. Mr. Gale was arrested and charged in 2023 following an incident at her home, and he has maintained his innocence since then, said Levine. Subsequently, she gave birth to a child, and all three attended court today. Mr. Gale, a teacher at Magotty High School in the parish of St. Elizabeth, expressed his gratitude at the outcome and is looking forward to bonding with his first child. As for his political future, Mr. Gale remains a committed supporter of the PNP and looks forward to serving in whatever capacity the party deems fit, Levine added. The complainant was represented by Eugene Morgan and Sherissa Cummings. In October 2023, the PNP moved swiftly to sever ties with Gale after he was charged with assault. At the time, the teacher was selected to represent the party in the Lokovia division of St. Elizabeth Northwestern in the upcoming local government election. Jamaica Gray murder accused not fed judge livid. The continuation of the presiding judge's instructions to the jury in the trial of Gregory Roberts, the defendant in the 2017 murder of schoolgirl Shanika Gray, was temporarily put on hold this afternoon following the revelation that the accused was not fed on time. A visibly aggravated High Court Justice Bertram Morrison ordered that the hearing should resume only after Roberts received his lunch. Roberts, who is in police custody, did not get his food in a timely manner during the lunch break in Monday's proceedings at the St. James Circuit Court. This is a comment I have had to make on at least 3 occasions. We cannot treat him like that. He is a human being, Morrison said in a chastising tone before ordering that Roberts should be given the chance to refresh himself. On previous court dates throughout his trial, Roberts informed the court that he had not been given an opportunity to have his meals ahead of his scheduled appearances. As a result of today's delay, Morrison's ongoing instructions to the jury were pushed back to later on Monday afternoon. Earlier this morning, in his instructions and summation of the evidence, Morrison advised the jury that they should treat with caution the evidence presented by Roberts' former co-defendant, Maria Morrison, who testified for the prosecution, because of the likelihood that the latter may have a particular interest to serve. On the other hand, the jury was advised that the photographic evidence which has been presented so far should be taken into consideration during their eventual deliberations. Shanika Gray, then a 15-year-old student of the Green Pond High School, was found dead with multiple stab wounds in Irwin St. James on February 1, 2017, 3 days after she was last seen alive in Montego Bay while returning home from the funeral of a schoolmate. 5 individuals arrested in connection with a gun and ammo find in Old Harbor identified. The 5 individuals, including 3 juveniles and a female, who were arrested after 3 firearms were found in a car they were traveling in, have been identified. They are Sheena Price, a 33-year-old businesswoman from New Harbor Village 1 in Old Harbor, St. Catherine, a 15-year-old student from McLeod Close, Old Harbor Bay, a 17-year-old unemployed male from Old Market Street, Old Harbor Bay, Kemar Bent, a 27-year-old fisherman from Old Market Street, Old Harbor, and a 15-year-old male also from Old Market Street in Old Harbor Bay. Reports are that explosions were heard in Old Harbor Bay shortly after 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. Responding to the gunfire, the police mounted a roadblock in the area when the car carrying the 5 people was stopped and searched. 3 firearms along with a magazine fitted with ammunition were reportedly discovered in the vehicle. Satan facing robbery and extortion charges. Multiple charges have been laid against 33-year-old Karen Daly, otherwise called Satan or Iron, a loaderman of Thompson Pen, Beacon Hill in St. Catherine. The charges reportedly stemmed from an incident on Burke Road, Spanish Town on Saturday, December 16, 2023. It is alleged that Daly and another man were having a heated argument when the accused used a ratchet knife to stab the complainant before allegedly slashing the two front tires of his Toyota Wish motorcar and stealing Jamaican $30,000 from the vehicle. Daly was arrested and charged with robbery with aggravation, extortion, assault at the common law, malicious destruction of property, and being armed with an offensive weapon. His court date is being finalized. 2 Clarendon men charged in relation to kidnapping incident. The Clarendon police say they have laid several charges against the 2 men in connection with a kidnapping incident in Palmer's Cross in the parish on Sunday, January 14. 31-year-old laborer Philip Robinson, otherwise called Sean, and 21-year-old farmer Asham Gallimore, both of Rectory Road, Clarendon, have been charged with kidnapping at a common law, robbery with aggravation, and wounding with intent. Reports from the Maypen police are that at about 2:15 p.m., a man boarded a taxi with a driver and a passenger on board. On reaching his destination, he reportedly asked to be let off. However, the driver allegedly refused to stop. The passenger reportedly brandished a machete and robbed the man of his Samsung Galaxy A13 cell phone, valued at $25,000 and $10,000 in cash. The man was subsequently taken to a section of River Heights, also in the parish, where he was beaten and threatened. He managed to escape his attackers, but reportedly sustained chops in the process. The man later reported the incident to the police and was assisted to the hospital, where he was treated. Robinson and Gallimore were taken into custody the following day after an investigation. Charges were filed against them on Friday, January 19, after an identification parade. They are scheduled to appear in the Maypen Parish Court on Thursday, January 25. Police to target motorcyclists in anti-crime crackdown. Following a series of robberies and contractor-style killings being carried out by motorcyclists, the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch says it will be ramping up its crackdown on motorcyclists as part of the Police High Command's anti-crime strategy. Head of the PSTEB, Assistant Commissioner Gary Francis, says that the police have access to data confirming that pillion riders on motorcycles have been engaging law enforcement officers in several gun battles. He warned that motorcyclists transporting pillion riders will be subjected to greater scrutiny.
One of the things that we will do is to target motorcycles in a very serious way. It is very important that persons understand that to drive a motorcycle and to transport a pillion rider, that they need to have a driver's license. And so we will be taking very strong action. In fact, all motorcycles that are moving around with two persons will raise a red flag, for which we will ensure that we do the appropriate checks, searches, and where necessary, arrest, prosecute, and seize where we have to do so. It is very important to note that in 2023, we seized just over 2,000 motorcycles, and this was some 900 more than 2022. We recognize, though, that there needs to be more done, and so we will ensure that we take our responsibility to ensure that motorcyclists use our roadways safely and that those who use motorcycles are not committing crimes. We know that in some instances, persons have not paid their traffic ticket and they have not attended court. We are especially concerned that persons who commit multiple breaches, especially moving violations, are still on our roadways driving. This is something that we will not tolerate. Over the past 2 weeks, we have executed some 258 traffic warrants, and we aim to do much more. As a matter of fact, over the past 7 days, we executed 116 traffic warrants that are related to PPV drivers and another 27 that are related to other drivers.
2 granted bail on gun and ammunition charges in St. Elizabeth. 2 of the 4 people arrested last Monday following the seizure of 2 guns and more than 100 rounds of ammunition at the Pepper St. Elizabeth were on Friday offered bail when they appeared in the parish court. 60-year-old construction worker Dudley Williams and the 28-year-old bartender Chantel Ricketts were each offered a bail in the sum of $300,000 with a surety. Their co-accused, the 35-year-old businessman Romeo Williams and the 40-year-old Barbara Malcolm Williams, were remanded. The 4 are scheduled to return to the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Balaclava, at which time it is expected that the matter will be transferred to the gun court section of the parish court. They have been charged with possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, stockpiling of ammunition, and using premises for storing prohibited weapon. The police carried out a raid of 2 houses in Pepper on January 15. During the operation, a 9mm pistol and a shotgun, along with ammunition, were seized. Board contemplating future of NWC President Mark Barnett. The news has been informed that the board of the National Water Commission is considering the future of the Commission's President Mark Barnett. It follows a report from the Integrity Commission and a subsequent ruling by the Director of Public Prosecutions concerning breaches in relation to a housing development at the Charlie Mount Drive in St. Andrew. The board has received the reports now in the public domain and is reviewing them accordingly. A source told the news that the matter of a settlement with Mr. Barnett is close to being finalized. The source says the board is ensuring that the decision taken is fair to the parties involved.